No universal search on the device, so I can't search for contacts and email messages all from this Bing screen here. If you're wondering, these little things are just bits of information that Bing likes to show you. Not useful. It'd be more useful if the cursor actually showed up here by default. You can search on anything. I'll search on pizza. It's a good example. And Bing recognizes what you're searching for and tries to bring up the appropriate view. So local results are probably the most common request for pizza. So you can see we've got that advertisement here for Italian Delight. It says A there, and then you've got the results 1, 2, 3, 4 here, along with the map. If I tap on here, if I really wanted news about pizza, you can see that here, and just generic web results right there. Now, depending on what you searched, a different tab, like news might come up. If you search on technology, for example, it wouldn't do a local search on that. You can also do voice-based searches. Microsoft's implementation of voice search doesn't work as well as Google's. Dairy Queen. There we go. That should pull up local results. You see it flip over to local there. We get the map. Bring up Bing Maps here, and I'll show all the Dairy Queens in the area. You can get directions, phone number. You can even pin it to the home screen, which is kind of cool. So you can quickly go back to it. If we go back to a pizza search, one thing I wanted to point out is when you get the local results for restaurants, they often show ratings, which is really nice. You also get access to information like hours of operation, reviews, and other things that are nearby. So say we were interested in going to Munich. Let's see what the weather's like there. Do Munich weather, and instead of just getting generic search results, you're actually going to get properly formatted data. And now that we know that the weather in Germany is acceptable right now, let's see how the flights are running. Flight 706, I think, is one of the Munich flights. And you'll get real flight information right up top. I'll show you a couple other features in Maps. You can show traffic information, for example. You see it's Sunday afternoon, and traffic looks pretty good everywhere. All nice and green. Satellite view, or aerial views, they call it in Bing Maps. And we can also get back to the previous results for Dairy Queen. If we choose one of them, we can get directions. And here we are. We don't get turn-by-turn voice prompts or anything like that. But you do have options for driving and pedestrian directions. And it shows you the map for each turn. As we start to wrap up, I'm just going to show you some of the applications I've installed. There's a Twitter client. There's an official Twitter client in the works. I can't show you that though. Slacker radio, a calculator, some photo sharing, a number of different RSS readers. This is Samsung's Now application. Gives you access to weather information, news, stocks, and things like that. Marketplace has a fair number of applications, and some of them are pretty good, but the lack of multitasking support for applications is a bit of a downer on this. So you're not going to get everything that you would expect. It's kind of like a first generation or second generation iOS for Apple's iPhone. There's just no, until they got to iOS 4, there just was no multitasking or task switcher or anything like that, and there is no task switcher here. You're always going back to the start menu. At least you do have the back button though. In terms of synchronization on the device, you use the Zune player and you can sync everything from music, videos, photos, all that kind of stuff. You can sync it with your computer. And the music application also has a nice Wi-Fi sync. You can sync your music as soon as you plug it into your charger. After it's been idle for a couple minutes, it'll sync over Wi-Fi to your home computer, as long as you're on the same network as your home computer, which that's pretty handy, so you don't have to use the USB functionality. Call quality on the Focus has been really top-notch. Great reception on AT&T's 3G network. The audio quality is quite good. Speakerphone's a little bit weak, but battery life's even been pretty good. There's not a lot of talk time capacity. It's a 1500 milliamp hour battery. Talk time's only rated at 3 hours of 3G talk time, which isn't too much, but we've been able to easily get through a solid day of fairly heavy use off of a single charge, which is pretty good. If you go lighter on it, getting through a day and a half, maybe even stretching out to 2 days, quite possible. The hardware is quite nice, really solid build. The UI I think is very, very beautiful. There are a couple features that are non-obvious, but touch features in general that the iPhone used weren't always real obvious at the beginning either. We all learn, and as the consumers learn from things like Android, WebOS, and iOS, start to realize the different things you can do here, and it'll become much more normal. It's not as powerful as, say, Android in terms of you configuring everything the way you want, but it's a little more user-friendly, I think, to first-time smartphone buyers, and I think that's going to appeal to even the linear aspect of going from here back to the start menu, start screen for everything. I think that'll appeal more to first-time smartphone users, which is probably a good market to go after right now. So that's our first look at the Samsung Focus for AT&T, and also our first look at Windows Phone 7 from Microsoft. This is Michael Orrell for MobileBurn.com.